Good evening. More than 90 people have been arrested and dozens more injured after a rock concert turned into a riot. 7,000 packed Musgrave Park for a free concert and clashed with baton-wielding police.
The battle lasted more than an hour. On one side, scores of police armed with batons and riot shields. On the other, hundreds of concert-goers running to get out of the rain, swept up in a storm of violence.
Police tried to break those scuffles up, and then the crowd turned on police, and it escalated from there.
Even with the public safety response team already there, police called for reinforcements. It was answered by a pair of military police, the first time the Army's been called in to help police since raids on a hippie commune 20 years ago. The Army says they did nothing. Civil libertarians are outraged.
There is a constitutional bar to military police being involved in any state policing issue right around the country.
I saw police on horseback trampling young girls into the mud. I saw police with batons and shields batoning and hitting young people to the ground.
And in the wash-up, concert organisers are furious. They say the police came looking for trouble surrounding the park before the riot began.
Given that there was some trouble, and in fact a rape and a death at the same festival last year, police were better off being prepared.
Shane Doherty, 7 Nightly News.
In those sort of situations, and given that there was some trouble, and in fact a rape and a death at the same festival last year, police were better off being prepared.
This isn't the first Triple Z concert that's degenerated into violence. There's a history of friction between the independent radio station and police. Organisers say last night was nothing more than police payback.
Maybe from time to time we get up the nose of the Queensland Police Force in the issues that we do cover.
What would you expect them to say? I mean, they're not going to praise police because their concert got ruined both by rain and by the riotous behaviour of a small group of people they failed to control.
Today, the job of cleaning up the park, as concert organisers consider a formal complaint to the CJC, a move backed by Queensland's Council for Civil Liberties. Chris Wordsworth, National 9 News.
There are calls for a federal inquiry into a riot in Brisbane last night, during which 90 people were arrested. Police say they were pelted with cans, but people attending the outdoor concert claim officers used brutal and unnecessary force. And there are questions over the involvement of several military police officers in the melee.
The 9-hour music festival started at midday. Police at the inner city park had arrested more than 30 people on various charges, including drug offences. But when a violent storm hit Brisbane around 8:30 last night, concert-goers and officers clashed.
The crowd started sheltering from the very heavy torrential downpour in whatever shelter they could gain, and the Queensland Police Force decided to move them out of Musgrave Park absolutely immediately, without any warning, and used the most brutal and over-the-top methods.
Organisers claimed some people were trampled into the ground under the police horses, but police say they were set upon after trying to break up scuffles.
Then the crowd turned on police, and it escalated from there. And the mounted unit that was in the area came in, and the police horses were harassed and assaulted, and one received an injury to the neck.
Around 60 people were arrested and charged with more than 200 offences. Today, the radio station which organised the event was preparing for a legal battle, taking calls for much of the day from people unhappy with the police treatment.
Well, the first thing that you need to do is go to see a doctor and get a medical certificate or some report from him stating your injuries, as well as getting photographs of the bruising to your arms.
The Civil Liberties Council wants a joint state and federal government inquiry into the incident. Concerned military police were involved.
That it shows, despite the Queensland Police well-rehearsed statements today, that the policing last night was close on chaotic, that decisions that were being made were haphazard.
Queensland's police minister has been briefed and is satisfied with the police explanation.
Police have a very difficult role to play, and I think they played it to the best of their ability.
However, the minister said if people do have complaints, they should alert the Criminal Justice Commission, the state's corruption watchdog.